Morning students, so today we are going to talk about the posterior abdominal wall and the structures in the posterior abdominal wall, mainly the abdominal aorta. So now I am focusing the diaphragm. See, this is the diaphragm. How do I say it is diaphragm? Let me rotate the specimen and tell you, this is the diaphragm. So what I see here is the aorta. Okay, what I see here is the aorta, and the aorta is continuing from the thoracic area and it is entering into the abdomen through an opening called hiatus. Okay, abdominal hiatus, which I am taking a closer view. So you can carefully see the abdominal hiatus. Through this, the aorta is entering into the abdomen, and it is entering into the abdomen. See, this is the area where you can see the entering of the abdominal aorta, and this becomes the esophagus. So what is the tube that I am leaving the forceps into? That is the esophagus. The esophagus is a tube which is usually seen in front, where it is continuously, it opens into the stomach, and the stomach has been removed and dissected, so you don't have to worry about it. Now if you see, this is the midline structure, and the first branch of the aorta is the celiac trunk. If you carefully see, the celiac trunk has three branches. One is a common hepatic artery, you have one left gastric artery, and you also have the splenic artery that is going to the left side. The other branches have been dissected because the structures have been removed. And here you can find the second large branch in the abdominal aorta, that is the superior mesenteric artery. Then below the superior mesenteric artery, it is very clearly evident, this area what you see is the renal artery. Renal artery directly goes to the kidney. So that can be very easily seen. So after the renal artery, just above the renal artery, this is the suprarenal artery, middle suprarenal artery. This is the suprarenal gland. Suprarenal gland is seen to be located above the kidney. So the artery that is going will be the middle suprarenal artery. So this becomes the renal artery bilaterally. The structure what you see just right to the abdominal aorta is the IVC. The IVC again receives tributaries from the renal vein. Hence there is a communication seen on the right side here. So this is the communication of the IVC through the renal veins. This is one of the tributaries here. Then similarly you also have the communication from the left side, and that's the left renal vein communication to the IVC. So then the artery that we saw here was the superior mesenteric artery. Then lower down what we get is the inferior mesenteric artery. The inferior mesenteric artery, you know, is the artery for the hindgut, and it is going to give blood supply to the area of the colon and the colon, the sigmoidal area, the cecal area, and the rectal area. So then lower down if you see the abdominal aorta, at the level of the L4 is getting bifurcated into the two common iliac arteries, right common iliac, left common iliac, and the common iliacs are further getting divided into right common iliac, the external iliac artery and the internal iliac artery. Similarly, the left side also is getting bifurcated into the external iliac and the internal iliac. Then the other branches that we are very keenly to see will be, this is the inferior mesenteric artery. Then just above the inferior mesenteric artery, if we carefully note, there is one more artery that is going lower down. Do you see this? This is the gonadal vessel or the gonadal artery. Gonadal artery. So very close to the gonadal artery, behind the gonadal artery, there is one more structure that is coming lower down, and that becomes the sympathetic chain. How do I say sympathetic chain? Here I can see the ganglion continuously seen lateral to the abdominal aorta, and that becomes the sympathetic chain. So very lateral to the sympathetic chain, you get the ureter, which is coming out through the hilum of the kidney. So this becomes the ureter. Now you can also find the ureter and the structures whatever we saw now. The sympathetic chain, ureter can be seen bilaterally. So this can be seen from this side. So on the left side also you can see the sympathetic chain. So this is the sympathetic chain seen on the left side. This is the sympathetic chain, and this is the ureter. This is the ureter. So the ureter is always seen in close proximity with the IVC and the aorta. That's why you can always feel the pressure of the ureter. Whenever there is a ureteric block, you can feel the pressure, the ureteric pressure over these great vessels, and the patient will also complain of pain. Now, another important blood vessel that we left was the inferior phrenic artery. How do I show you the inferior phrenic artery? Now, I am focusing the vessel in the straight way where these are the anterior branches, which is very easy to see. You can see one branch that is going upwards here, and it is going directly to the inferior surface of the diaphragm. It is going to the inferior surface of the diaphragm, and you can see it is very closely embedded with the walls of the diaphragm. This is the inferior phrenic artery, which is going to give blood supply to the inferior surface of the diaphragm. Then the next one is the important artery, which is the median sacral artery, which is going to be seen in the midline below the bifurcation of the abdominal aorta. The median sacral artery is also one of the unpaired arteries. Now, to talk about the gonadal artery, the gonadal artery is going to be one artery which is supposed to be called the testicular artery in a male, while it is called to be ovarian artery in a female. That is very important. So, exam point of view, if they pin up the structure that is seen here, well, big wall, thick walled blood vessel, that is your abdominal aorta. And the next vessel which is seen right to it is your inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava also receives tributaries from the iliac vessels, that is the external iliac vein and the internal iliac vein, draining as tributaries directly into the IVC, and they join to form the IVC here. So, you also see that the IVC is receiving tributaries from the bilateral renal artery, the left renal artery as well as the right renal artery. So, the other structures that are related with the posterior abdominal wall are, children, this is the kidney, and if I reflect the kidney, you can see that there is a muscle that you see very evidently. This muscle is the right psoas major, and this is the, left psoas major, and this is the right psoas major. Then you also find another muscle that is seen here, that is the quadratus lumborum, which will form the posterior wall of the abdomen, So, this will make it easy for you to know the practical aspect and to identify the structures. So, let me recap it once more. This is the diaphragmatic area, and this is the entry of the aorta. This is the aorta from the thoracic area entering into the diaphragm through opening called aortic hiatus, and then that is at the level of the T10. So, then you get the entry of the abdominal aorta into the abdomen. The first branch is the celiac trunk, and then you have the left gastric artery, then you have the common hepatic artery, the splenic artery, then you have the superior mesenteric artery, then you have the inferior mesenteric artery, which is one of the anterior branches down here, then you have the median sacral artery going lower down in between. Then the paired branches include the renal artery, which is the first one. The renal artery is the artery which is seen to be directly entering into the right kidney here. This is again the renal artery. Then you get one artery called as the middle suprarenal artery, which is very clearly seen here. This is the middle suprarenal artery, and this is the suprarenal gland that is seen above the kidney. So, similarly, that is seen bilaterally also. So, this is the middle suprarenal artery, and then we have the one important artery that is called as the gonadal artery, which is going lower down. The gonadal artery is called as the testicular artery for male and ovarian artery for female. Then we also have another important structure very closer to it, and this is the ureter of the kidney. This is the ureter of the right kidney, ureter of the left kidney, both shown together. And you also have the sympathetic chain. This is the sympathetic chain on the left side, while this is the sympathetic chain on the right side. So, location wise, anatomically, the IVC is located to the right side of the body, while the aorta located to the left side of the body. And this is the terminal bifurcation of the aorta into the two common iliac vessels, right common iliac, left common iliac, right getting divided into external iliac, internal iliac, left common iliac getting divided into left external iliac and left internal iliac. So, these are the bodies of the vertebra very clearly visible. So, on a cross section also you can see the bodies of the vertebra being focused, and that becomes the posterior relation to the abdominal aorta. So, I hope this practical video will be explanatory to you, and it will be easy to identify the structures. So, this is the anatomical position of the specimen. Thank you.